I was in Dallas, Texas this past weekend, and had a wonderful meeting. I had something I came across that I wanted to discuss with you, and I want everybody to prove things that I say. Now, we all know that we live in a world where people are inherently religious. Some people are religious, and what I mean by that is that some people's morning routine, when they get up in the morning, brush their teeth, have a cup of coffee, and this routine happens every single day. So therefore they're very religious about what they do. And so a lot of times when you hear me speaking about people who are religious, I'm not talking about someone who believes in a particular doctrine, if you understand what I mean. Because when you look at Christianity as a whole, and I'm not bashing the religion of Christianity, it already does enough dishonor for itself when you really truly look at the facts. I'll give an example. Most Methodists are Calvinists. So therefore, they really truly don't follow the laws, the statutes, the commandments as prescribed by the Most High Yah through Moses and the prophets and Yahshua or Jesus Christ. They follow Calvinism. A lot of Amish and Mennonites, they're Anabaptists. And so they follow the doctrine of Anabaptists. Seventh-day Adventists, they follow the tenets of a woman by the name of Ellen G. White. They believe what she says. And then Catholics, they follow the Roman Catholic Church. What all of these people have in common in being religious is that each one of their doctrines, when you carefully look behind what these people believe, has to do with following an ideal or the philosophy, which we are warned about in Colossians 2:8, which teaches us to beware lest any man spoil us through philosophy and vain deceit, after the traditions of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ. So even though we have a stark warning there that tells us to beware of following traditions of men, it seems like today that the churches have been content at following traditions of men and calling it truth. One of their statements that they love using, especially on stationery, when they're writing letters, or if you live a certain way that doesn't, here it is, the key word, align with their beliefs. Notice, align with their beliefs. Now, it has nothing to do with what the book says, like in 1 Thessalonians 5:21, which says, prove all things and hold fast to that which is good. They don't care about proving anything, because their proof is whatever the philosophy or theology of some man said that came after the apostles. So they use our Hebraic scriptures. They use that to support their religion, while the whole time they're doing a great dishonor and a great disservice and using great violence towards the scriptures in defining and redefining words, coming up with their own theology. And so a lot of times, a lot of disagreement that takes place. The disagreement comes because people's philosophy and their theology and their ideals are contrary to what the word says. And people will argue with you and debate with you all day long over what their tradition and what their belief system, especially the Bible's belief system, the scripture belief system, is not aligned with their religious theology, their religious doctrine, their religious philosophy, or their religious tradition. And this is the fight that continues to keep going on again and again and again, systemically, all over the place. This is the fight. I had this camera on here for a second. All right. Excuse me. Excuse me. Early in the morning. I didn't mean to do that on camera. All right. With that said, my brother Kabir, he has a community up in Hobart, Wisconsin, Green Bay, Wisconsin. All right. And of course, I'm sure that many of you know the story of Kabir. He has made no apologies whatsoever at all about putting his life on display. One reason why he does it is so that people can learn what the truth is. And many people rush to judgment on a lot of things only to end up finding themselves on the wrong side of history. When you get someone as bold as Brother Kabir is, that means instead of allowing your emotions to run rampant, especially with something that you don't comprehend and understand, you probably should take heed of what he's saying, because this man is willing to stand on the truth, expose the truth, live on the truth, and let me go this route, and expose the lie, just in order for you to be edified. Because most people out there really truly don't want you to know the truth. As a matter of fact, people want you to take their opinions over truth. Now watch this. I'll give you an example of some of the religious persecution. And watch this. This is going in the United States of America. You know, you see me hold this thing up quite often, Constitution. And this is the First Amendment. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people to peacefully assemble, and to petition the government for redress of grievance. Now, this is the highest law, natural man's law, in the land, the Constitution of the United States. That means all other laws and municipal principalities, states, they are underneath that law, because this is the supreme law of the land. All right. That includes businesses. Businesses, if you're going to conduct business and you're going to be out there and you're going to get into tax exemption status like a 501c3, you're under those laws. Now, Kabir shows me this letter. All right. And I'm trying to debate on if I actually want to put out the dental office or not. But I want y'all to listen to this letter right here, all right? And I want to read this letter as per se it is here on my phone. So he's been going to this dental office for a long time. You know, now most people don't, if you don't know who Kabir is, Kabir, he wore number 94. He played football for 9 years for the Green Bay Packers. He has his name in the Ring of Honor up there in the Green Bay Packer Hall of Fame. A man well known in the community. Everybody loved him, so it seemed. He's from his first wife. He had like 7 or 8 children. And they looked like the model family until he started following the Bible. Until one day, him and his wife had a discussion on who was created in the image of Yah. And come to find out that from that point, he had the test and trial of his life. Well, needless to say, if you want to know his story, I'm not going to go over that right now. Go over to KGB 94 TV. You'll hear the truth about everything that's going on and the persecution that he has suffered at the hands of this system. And not only at the hands of the so-called law system, but also the persecution that he has suffered at the hands of businesses. And that's the reason why I tell you over and over again, when a lot of these businesses are being burnt down and torn down in America, whose businesses are they? They're not ours. But anyway, his whole entire community is being denied dental service simply because of his faith, religious beliefs is not aligned with their business practice. Now, I don't understand how much aligned you got to be to go to the dentist to get your teeth cleaned or to get dental work done. I don't understand what that is, except one thing that the book says, that all that live godly in Christ Jesus shall suffer persecution. And this is one of them. So let me read you this letter. Listen very closely. And this was sent out August 18, 2020. All right. Kabir, after much thought and consideration, we have made the decision to discontinue providing dental treatment to you and any of your community members. Hear the discrimination already? Watch this. We understand you certainly have the freedom and right to express and practice your beliefs within the boundaries of our legal system. However, your recent expression and actions and that of your members are not in alignment with our practice, making them unacceptable to us. Now, my question is, what the hell does going and getting your teeth clean, going having dental work done, has to do with his religious beliefs or practices? I guarantee you that this business sees homosexuals. Guarantee you. Guarantee you that they see lesbians and transgenders and people of alternative lifestyles. Guarantee you they see sodomites. But here's Kabir and his community living a set-apart life, quiet and peaceable. See, that's why I keep telling you, you don't never know who Satan is until the test comes. The test. It's all about the test. And it's really laughable. But let me go on here with this letter for a second, okay? Let me see. Your members are not in alignment with our practice, making them unacceptable to us. Moreover, the public actions of yourself and those members has made my office team very uncomfortable and apprehensive, resulting in reluctance to see and treat you and your community members. Therefore, because of this concern by our team and our respect of their concerns, we have been led to this decision. The dental appointments that were scheduled at our office on August 27, 2020 for yourself and for his father has been canceled. Any dental records will be forwarded to the dental office you select at your request. And then it gives out, I'm going to determine if I'm going to actually make more of a public spectacle of this or not. But isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? Now, let me see. Kabir has been standing on truth. And he does not have a criminal record still to this day. Persecution has arrived because if you're going to live godly, you're going to be persecuted. Now, if you're going to go along with the religious tenets of this world, traditions, and the philosophies and theologies of men, which are outside of the scope of the law, the Torah, the book of the law, that's when you really, truly realize how spiritual this battle is. Because when you get to the point now to where you're ostracized by a dental office, and because people feel uncomfortable, I'm going to say this again. I bet they don't feel uncomfortable when a sodomite walks in. I bet they do not feel uncomfortable when a lesbian walks in. Well, he won't black. I bet that they don't feel uncomfortable when somebody lives a sexually impure and immoral lifestyle walk in. I guarantee they don't grill them on their sexual orientation. I guarantee they don't have any troubles or problems if a pedophile walks in. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. And mind you, I guarantee if anything, if Kabir is going to do business with someone, I promise you that these people are Christians. See what I'm talking about? And I realize that a lot of you people out there get upset at Pastor Dowell because I talk about the religion of Christianity, which is not spoken about in the Bible. There is no religion called Christianity in the Bible. Go search it, read it. From Genesis to Revelations, read it. You will never read anything about a religion called Christianity. That is because this book is a history book of the Hebrew Israelites. The law was made for the Hebrews. The prophets were prophets to the Hebrews. Jesus, the Christ, Yahshua HaMashiach, was a Hebrew Israelite. All the apostles, Hebrews. And there were a few, even after the death, burial, and resurrection of Christ, who were Gentiles, who were actually elders in the assembly. But notice, whatever religion, affiliation, or whatever nationality or whatever nation they came from, they didn't stay that way at all. They converted and they became followers of the Hebrew Israelite Messiah, Jesus the Christ. You know, those people who just so happen to be from a region that is hot, and they all happen to be descendants of that melanated man called Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and Moses, Solomon, David, Jesus. There's much to be desired. And it burns these Christians when I put videos out like this, because see, all this stuff is usually done behind the scenes. And what people are more interested in today is the optics of things, how things look. Not that they really truly care anything about your private lifestyle and stuff. But see, notice, these people said they feel uncomfortable. And what has Kabir or any of them done to make anybody feel uncomfortable? Just because the system lied and put a spin on it and try to make these people look like that they were some type of criminals or something. That doesn't mean that they were, just because they've been lied upon. I think that many of you people out there should really truly do your own due diligence and find out. But it's going to take effort. It's going to take diligent effort. You need to find out and see what you really truly believe. Because, you know, when it's all said and done, none of us are staying here on this earth. We're all going to be challenged. We're all going to be judged by the deeds that are done on this earth. It makes no difference whether you believe or don't believe. It makes no difference what nation you come from, what nationality. It's totally irrelevant. When it's all said and done, the great creator of the universe, the eternal, the judge, the Most High Yahweh himself, he's going to judge all men. And I think that instead of fearing man, it would behoove people to start fearing Yah, even though I know it's, you know, I'm not holding my breath, they're going to do that. But I can tell you one thing, the wickedness of this system and all the lies that people use to try to persecute the righteousness or the righteous people, it's all going to come to a head one day. That's why I tell all Israelites and all of those of you that are converting to be Israelites, converting from the false religion, which I call Satan's religion of Christianity, because, I mean, let's think about it. Is there really truly any laws, commandments, or can we find it celebrated anywhere in the New Testament? A holiday called Christmas? I mean, Christians make up a story around the birth, the manger scene of the Messiah, but is that called Christmas? Is there any laws, statutes, and commandments, or can we see anywhere in the Bible where the Israelites celebrated a holiday called Easter? Now, it's actually mentioned one time in the New Testament, Acts 12:4. What y'all do is go and look behind that word that's presented in English and see what the real translation, the original translation, what words should have been there. And you're going to find out there has been a hell of a lot of penmanship to deceive the people in order to infuse the vanity of a false religion and to persuade and sway your mind, because that's what Satan is. He's a deceiver. And that is his religion, is there to deceive. Surely, if the Sabbath has been changed from the seventh day to the first day that they call Sunday, would there not be some type of laws, an amendment, or a change written down in the whole of the Bible? And if Yahweh Elohim, the Lord thy God, if he clearly spoke it out of his mouth over in Exodus chapter 20, verses 8 through 11, that the Sabbath is the seventh day of the week, wouldn't it stand to reason you've really truly got to ask yourself what the hell is going on and what are we doing? I know what Jesus said. Jesus said, in vain do you worship me for the teaching of the doctrines of the commandments of man. Full well you reject the commandments of Yah, that you may keep your own traditions. That's what's going on today. And so what's not aligned is that when people walk in truth, they find out that they're out of line with the deceivers, the accusers, and the liars of this world. I mean, after all, the Jews, today they will be called the Ashkenazim. Today they will be called the Caucasians from the Caucasus Mountains. They had our Messiah killed. And the Romans, that's where Christianity comes from, they're not interested in you knowing what real truth is. Only, let's just look the part. Let's be religious. Let's try to give you a good little life of ease and comfort. We can't guarantee you eternal life afterwards, but we can abstractly place it in your mind to make you believe and think that you're going to heaven. And of course, Jesus would say, why do you call me Lord, Lord, and do not the things that I say? There's not one Christian that does one thing that Jesus says. Not one. Not one. They follow the traditions of men. I personally think that Kabir has a lawsuit on his hand. I think he ought to pursue that, to tell you the truth. I think he ought to pursue that and actually shut down that business for discrimination, or get a hell of a lot of money. I'm sure they have business insurance. But it is sad, isn't it? Even the spirit of truth whom the world cannot receive. So if they killed Jesus, who went about doing good, healing all that are oppressed of the devil because Yah was with him, and never ever did one sin. If the world killed Jesus, and that's so much for the scribes and Pharisees, because that religious system was responsible for it today. Can't y'all see that we're suffering the same persecution under the lies and tyranny of Christianity? I tell you what, count it all joy. Chalk it all up. It's needed to be said here this morning, hopefully, that I sparked something in you, because many people are deceived by their own vain opinion. And we know that in the internet, this age of information, that people love, they just love giving out their opinion. And people love, people actually truly expect for people to worship them and take their word above the written word of Yah. Can you believe that? And believe what they say, even though they have nothing in their life showing that they live in such a manner to prove what they believe. Would that not be hypocrisy, or be a hypocrite? Anyway, what saith you? Get some comments down there on this video. This ought to be something else.